Welcome to episode 13 of Cougars on Cougars. We now have more episodes than Kyle Collinsworth has triple doubles, and that's an accomplishment, right?
That is a lot when you think about it that way.
So it is our first off-season show, but we've still got some great stuff for you. We are going to dig into the basketball team's competition for next year. But before we do that, we have your quote of the week.
This comes from our very own Steve Young, and he says, the principle is about competing against yourself. It's about self-improvement, about being better than you were the day before.
It's off-season, so who else do they have to compete against beside themselves?
Yeah, right? And right now it's all up to them. Coaches aren't involved, so it's up to them to be working hard every day.
And getting better, and we hope they are. Okay, as promised, we are going to dig into the composition of our basketball team for the 2016-2017 season. We have Robby McCombs with us. He is leaving us permanently to go to Seattle, so we had to have him in studio one more time before you just see his face on Skype. Yeah. Okay, so Jess, what are we going to be doing here?
So I feel like the end of every basketball season or football season, but since it's basketball, I like to compare it to like a teacher. So, I mean, I'm not a teacher, but I'm sure some of you are. But it's like this idea where you have these kids that you're with and you're so invested in them and in their success. Yeah, as a fan, you know, you watch them from freshmen to seniors or whatever. And then they graduate and they're gone and you're sort of heartbroken for a while until you get a whole new group in. And it's sort of exciting again, all of that. So we wanted to break down who's leaving us, who's staying, who'll be coming back, and then who will be incoming that wasn't here last season.
Yep, our new class. So
right.
Robby is going to start us off with who is leaving.
So obviously, we got our point guard leaving, Kyle Collinsworth, all-time leading rebounder and assists, one of all-time leaders in steals. So BYU at times they struggle a lot without Kyle Collinsworth. So he's a senior. He does so much for this BYU team. So all that transitioning into that, I'll be curious to see how BYU replaces that production.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to be losing a lot in Kyle. Chase Fisher, also our other, one of our three seniors who is leaving. He will probably play overseas. He was also a guard, and he was our leading scorer for at least the second half of the season. Got to be pretty consistent, putting up 18 to 20 points. So we'll miss that offensive production from him, I think.
Yeah.
Nate Austin also graduating. With him, we're losing a lot of hustle, a lot of spirit.
Vocal leader.
Ultimate team player. Love Nate Austin.
Robby's basketball crush.
He is.
And we've got one more leaving.
Then we got Zach Sellius, obviously going on a mission to Iowa. I think he leaves. When is he? Do you know when he leaves? Is it June?
I think it's May.
Is it May? Yeah.
I
think it's May 18th because remember that's the day I left on my mission.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. He's leaving in about a month here. And obviously, missions are a great thing. We love missions. We support missions, but
I have a hard time with this one.
He would have fit in so well at that 3 spot next year. Yeah. But we wish you luck, Zach. You'll do great things in Iowa. So
sure.
We'll miss your 3-point shooting.
Yes.
And your beautiful pure shooting form.
Yes, and that small lineup with him playing the 4. Man,
very
it's
versatile.
fine. Go on a mission. Yeah. Okay.
But it'll be fine. There's some guys staying too.
Yeah.
So I'll start with first is our only senior this next season, which is Kyle Davis. So I expect him to work really hard this offseason and get better because he's going to have some competition.
Yes, and he knows what he needs to improve on. So,
okay.
We have Jamal Aites, who is going to be a junior. He did not see very many minutes this past season.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how there's a lot of bigs, so I'll be curious to see how he works himself into that lineup.
Yeah, but he's a scholarship player, so that is a big question because we thought he was, and then he kind of re-injured his ankle at the beginning of the season and then didn't really play, so who knows?
Yeah.
So we'll see about him, but that's one of your juniors.
And then we got Corbin, obviously. Corbin's interesting. He's progressed over freshman, sophomore year. When he's on, he's a great defensive presence, but just look curious to see if he could refine that low post game because he could, with his athleticism, he could bring definitely a new dimension to BYU.
Yeah, we talked with Jonathan Tavenari about how he just needs to develop 1 or 2 go-to moves, and then he could be a truly great post player.
Okay, Jordan Chapman, sophomore. He'll probably play next year because we won't have a ton of guards.
Yeah.
So he'll play.
And then Nick Emery is another sophomore who we will have, and we expect to likely see him start. We obviously know we got a lot of offensive production from him. So another sophomore.
Then we got we got Jacob Hartsock, good shooter.
Yeah.
We'll see how he can improve defensively, if he could work in his way to rotation as well. So he's got the genes. He's got his brother Noah, so it'll be fun to see.
Yeah, and same with Braden Shaw. I feel like you can kind of group them together a little bit. Yeah. They'll have to do some work together in the offseason as well.
Then we have Alan Hampson, our 7'3" player who returned from his mission last year and ended up redshirting just because he wasn't quite where he needed to be. So hopefully he's in great shape.
Yeah.
Get some blocks. I think Robbie said he was averaging 6 blocks in high school.
Yeah, you played at Pleasant Grove. When you're that tall, I guess you'll get a lot of blocks.
Yeah.
So if it hits you in the face or whatever. So.
And then we have our question marks.
Yeah.
So Jake Toulson's a big one. Only played in 5 games this last season?
Yeah.
And then left the team. And we still don't have official word on what his status is for next season. I really hope he comes back because he would fit in great at that 3 spot.
And he would be a junior, so some more upperclassmen leadership, not senior leadership. But then what about Davin Gwynn, Robbie?
Yeah, he's a walk-on. I think you get 13 scholarships and you have 15 spots total. So my guess Davin Gwynn will fill that 15th spot at another guard, since BYU probably won't have a ton of guards next year. So I'm guessing Davin Gwynn will be a practice player and maybe get some more minutes. So I expect him to be back next year.
Okay, speaking of coming back, let's move on to who we've got coming, our new kids on the block. And obviously we start with TJ Haws, who won that national championship with Lone Peak. He's part of that Lone Peak trio, and he got back from his mission in France just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
4 straight high school titles.
And if you have a chance, go watch the senior year state championship game. It's just unreal what he did in that senior championship game. Just the range, like his moves getting to the hoop, it's unreal. You need to go check that out on YouTube.
The Ginger Mamba.
Yes.
Uncle Pat calls him, and we will call him.
Yeah.
And then up next from coming back from his mission end of April is Eric Mika, who we remember him playing his freshman year, and he gave us a big boost. And he
a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fire.
Yeah, he should probably start next year.
Yeah, I have high hopes for him. Something cool about him, his freshman year is obviously the one he played. He had the most offensive rebounds in his season in BYU history. So he really gets after the offensive end.
It's music to my ears.
He got post moves. I expect huge things at Eric Mika. I think of all the guys coming in, I think Eric Mika will have the biggest difference.
Yeah.
Then we got Peyton Dastrup. So Peyton Dastrup, he was a 4-star kid out of he went to high school in Arizona. He's in Panama's mission, gets home in June. And I kind of look at him, he's kind of similar to Noah Hartsock a little bit, in that he could play inside out. He's got a really good mid-range game. Yeah. He could post up. So I think him and Eric Mika at the 5, Peyton Dastrup at the 4. Maybe we won't see that a ton this year, but I think in futures they complement each other really well just because of Peyton's ability to stretch the floor. So I'm really excited for him. He's overlooked a little bit over the Lone Peak 3, but he's a great player. He
shouldn't be. He committed to Ohio State originally, and
that was a
to come to BYU.
Big win for us.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Next, we've got Yoli Childs, who we are getting. This is very rare for us, straight out of high school, and he's not going anywhere. He's not a member, so he should be with us for 4 years straight. So Bingham, and is he a 4-star?
Yeah, ESPN has him as a top 50 recruit, so he's got a lot of accolades. I'll definitely learn. I think he'll contribute right away. He could play the 4. I think out of necessity, he's going to play a lot of the 3 too. He developed a 3-point game this past season with Bingham. He shot about 4 a game. He shot close to 50% from 3-point range. He's got great low post moves. A little bit undersized at 6'6", but he brings a lot of versatility. He could play down the block. He could stretch out towards the 3-point line. So I could potentially see him, maybe not at the beginning of the season starting, but eventually in the season working away into the starting lineup. So Yoli Childs, BYU very rarely gets a talent like him. So very high hopes for Yoli.
And that we won't have to. It will be weird to not have him gone for 2 years.
Elijah Bryant also coming back, so he will technically be a sophomore.
Yeah.
We just learned this. I think we both kind of thought he was going to be a junior, but
he'll be a sophomore because he sat out this year, and that was he able to use his redshirt year. So fans will get 3 straight years of him in the backcourt,
which will be great. We've heard a lot of things about him. It seems like the guys really respect him, especially his game.
Well, and watching him in Cougar tip-off at the beginning of the season, that was such a tease. I was like, oh, you look good, but you can't play, so.
And I think he'll fit in really well. Just the way he played at Elon, everything was focused on him. He was the point guard. They totally relied on him. So I think now having that help in the backcourt will open up his game a lot. He draws a ton of fouls, gets to the rim, shoots very good from 3, so he's very versatile game. He's a big guard. He's 6'5", just about the same size as Kyle Collinsworth, so really excited for Elijah.
Yeah. What about our preferred walk-on, Robbie?
Yeah, so Stephen Bayo, he's coming from Washington. You don't see walk-ons with this type of offers. He had offers from Pac-12 schools, from Washington, from Colorado. Boise State gave an offer, but he's LDS. Apparently, the teams told him he could walk on this year and eventually get a scholarship starting his sophomore year. And high volume scorer, 6'2". He had a couple games this year. He had over 40 points. So you don't see walk-ins get playing time as a freshman, but with BYU with the lack of guard depth, I think he'll definitely have the chance to earn those minutes his freshman year.
Yeah, especially if Jake doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And then he could even get a scholarship. But there's your comprehensive look. So
yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot. We're going to have more depth than we saw this year, that's for sure.
And there's always a chance we could add a grad transfer or that somebody leaves or who knows what.
Yeah, it's
a lot could change.
Probably likely to be some turnover, but this is what we have as now.
So with this, we wanted to ask Robby, and we wanted to say who we all think should be the captains. Who is our leadership? And this is kind of interesting because we don't have too many upperclassmen, so there are going to have to be some leaders that are going to have to come out of the woodwork as freshmen and sophomores, which is kind of unusual.
Yeah, there's only one senior, Kyle Davis. I think being the only senior, he's been around the program. This will be his third season in the program. He's out of his first year, obviously. I think Kyle Davis will be one of the captains. What do you guys think?
I would agree on Kyle Davis.
Yeah, we both agree on that. I know a lot of other people don't.
A vocal majority does not agree for some reason because they were disappointed with his play this past season, which I can understand. But if you look at his production, he did well. He's a good kid, and I think that he's going to get better. And I think that being the senior...
Yeah, I think will help him a lot this season. He always drew the other team's best opposing interior defender.
Yeah.
But I think with Eric Mika in there, you have other guys. Most of the time he won't draw that leading defender. So I think Kyle Davis will
be more comfortable.
Yeah, have a little bit better season this year.
Okay, so Captain Kyle Davis, we unanimously agree.
Yeah.
Disagree with us if you dare.
I think we also unanimously agree on Nick Emery.
Nick Emery, yeah.
He's kind of has the it factor. I think he's a gamer. I love Nick Emery.
Yeah.
I know Mary's very fond of him as well.
No, I love Nick, but it's almost kind of that Jimmermania feeling surrounding him, which is
he's beloved
crazy
for sure.
because he was a freshman.
I think it's just because he's one of the Lone Peak Three that everybody hears so much about.
There is so much hype, and I think I'm just apprehensive. But regardless of my apprehension, I do agree that he will be a captain.
Yeah.
So who would our third one be?
Do we agree on this?
I think those two for sure will be captains. What do you guys think?
Yeah. So who's your third?
I can see potentially maybe Corbin. This will be his
Corbin.
third year in the program.
I didn't think about him.
I think he could potentially. What were you guys' thoughts?
I thought Elijah.
I could see Elijah.
Yeah, I could see Elijah too. I'd be sort of surprised with Corbin. I mean, I think it would make sense, but I don't know. I feel like he maybe has this. He seems timid to me, which is funny.
But you know what?
He's
Maybe being a captain would be what he needed for his confidence, because that was an issue for him. So if he was a captain, even if he was getting those limited minutes, maybe it would be easier for him to come in and play better because he knows that he's setting the example.
Yeah, I could see TJ being a captain too. I feel like it's between TJ and Elijah. Pat,
don't get mad at me for sighing. I don't want two of the three Lone Peak trio, and that's kind of why I'm going with Elijah. Because he is going to be a junior. I mean, no, he's not. That kind of changes things.
He's been in the program.
But he's been in the program.
I have a hard time seeing a true freshman being a team captain.
That would be crazy. But I know people think that he will be, but
I'm just saying, I could see. If I was going to nominate someone for a captain.
Over Eric, who will have had already spent a year with the program?
Maybe.
So we have some disparity on the third captain here. Maybe we'll have to run a poll and see who you agree with.
But if I could pick, I would pick Kyle, Elijah, and Nick. That would be my pick for captain.
And same.
I do that. I go either Elijah or Corbin. I think either one would do a good job as captain.
Third captain. I think I kind of overlooked Corbin because I don't think he's going to be getting very much. Because I didn't look at him as a starter, and I guess I kind of. But apparently, your captains don't have to be starters. Look at Nate Austin. Okay, and then Robby, we just wanted to get your starting five real quick too.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be very interchangeable at the guards, but I think I see TJ run the one, Nick's going to run the two for sure, Elijah at the three. You could switch Elijah and TJ. Both of them can run the one. They're both very comfortable at doing that. They've done that in the past. I think initially you have Kyle Davis starting at the four. He's a senior. And then you have Eric Mika running out being your center.
And you think that'll change?
I could see ULA Childs. I'm really high on ULA Childs. I think I could see maybe overtaking Kyle Davis at that four spot just because of his ability to stretch the floor. And plus, ULA Childs is way good. That's no knocking against Kyle Davis. He is what he is. He gave production this year, but I think starting out, I think that's what we'll see potentially maybe ULA to get that 4 spot.
Would your lineup change if Jake Toulson comes back?
Oh, yeah.
And no, I still bring Toulson off the bench. I think you got to run those 3 guards. Those are your guards. They can handle the ball very well. And Elijah Bryant, he's a big enough guy, 6'5", he could guard 3s. So I think Jake Toulson, he'd probably be one of your first guys off the bench. Because he could stretch the floor, he could play that 3 spot.
Okay, well, that's what we've got.
Got a few more months to go, so.
Yep, we'll be probably updating this.
We'll probably revisit.
Yeah.
Talk of the Town this week, we have Robbie still here with us.
Yes.
Still
Thanks
here.
for
I'm
being
sorry,
here.
guys.
No, don't be
get rid of
sorry.
me.
Sorry, not sorry.
We're holding him hostage here for Talk of the Town. Okay, so what do we have this week?
Robbie's going to start us off.
All right.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, so Reno Mahe, I'm sure most of you saw. He posted an Instagram post. It was on Twitter as well. It was just it was the coaching staff and a lot of people that work in the athletic department. They're all wearing BYU jerseys with their old numbers on it. And when a lot of people going crazy about it on Twitter, just people really nostalgic about it, just seeing the old players in their uniforms. So it was pretty cool. I liked it. It was kind of cool to see BYU obviously really embracing their past, their tradition. That a lot of us have played here at BYU. We love BYU. We know BYU. So it was cool. It was a lot of people saw it. So.
Hashtag BYU Family.
Hashtag BYU Family. Next, we had an Instagram post from Tanner on Monday, and it's this picture of him, and he's signing, some of the football team signed autographs at the baseball team over the weekend. And it's him, and he's signing the autograph for the little kid, and he says, "I think this is right after I asked him to point to the player on the poster he thought I was, and he pointed at Jamal." So close. It's always fun interacting with fans. So their numbers are backwards. They don't really look alike. But then Jamal commented and said, "Because we twins, bro. Just my brother with a different mother, but we got the same dad." So little family history on those two, apparently.
That Tanner. He has a nice smile.
Yeah, and great hair. And a cute shirt. He's just winning everywhere.
He's winning.
Sure is. Mitch Matthews this week posted a picture of his hot sauce that said, "This Nebraska hot sauce is a real Hail Mary on my sandwich."
Get
so
it?
clever.
Get it?
He's clever.
I think he made some Husker fans cry.
Where do we think he got the hot sauce from?
Is he clever? Yeah, we were trying to determine. It looks like a restaurant. Did he bring his own hot sauce?
He could have bought it in Nebraska after the game, ordered it.
Yeah, maybe someone
Maybe there's the promo restaurant like Nebraska.
Or he carries it around in his pocket. If you know where he got the hot sauce, let us know.
Tell us.
This is from our long snapper, Matt Foley, on Instagram. He is SnapperBear93. Give him a follow. He and Johnny Linehan and who's that other kid? I don't know. He's on the football team, though.
Honestly.
Sorry, other kid. But they went to speak at Westridge Elementary. So it's the off season, so they're getting to go and get involved in the community, give a lot of motivational speeches. So we just thought that was a cute little selfie with him and all the kids.
And also Taysom, some of the football players threw out pitches at the baseball game. And then apparently Taysom, his first pitch, the one he threw was 76 miles an hour. And he didn't really wind up. He kind of just chucked it. It went in the dirt, unfortunately, but he had some velocity on it without warming up. Just kind of threw it.
Didn't Harvey tweet, and he was like, the other team should be glad he's not pitching?
Yeah. He has an arm, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, they are beautiful. That much we know. And functional, apparently. So.
Troy Warner posted a picture today of him and his brother, Fred, and it just says, "RIP to our grandfather. We wear the numbers to represent the day you were born, 411. So.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice. Pretty interesting.
So, yeah, 4/11. It's also Tyler Howell's birthday, but we'll get to that in a minute. Another one we wanted to mention, Bronson Kaufusi. He did a post for the Players Tribune, which is a site that compiles articles and things from the players themselves. And so he did a job application for the NFL. He said, his name, where he went to high school, where he went to college. There were some really fun tidbits in there, though. Like, he mentioned his college major was statistics and analytics, which I didn't know.
That's cool.
He picked Instagram. He said he liked Instagram over Twitter. He liked pie over cake. And he said that if he wasn't playing football, he would be coaching. And then our favorite thing from that, which we tweeted out, is they asked him to draw his college's mascot. That is a fierce-looking Cosmo.
It is.
That's pretty good. I'm impressed.
He should have been an art major. I don't know.
Well, in statistics, you have to draw those graphs and stuff. So
that's true. Whatever those are called.
He did better than we would have done.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sure.
I think that's all we've got from the football end of it. So let's move on to the basketball end of it.
You mentioned Tyler Haws' birthday was today, so happy birthday, Tyler Haws.
Yes.
Birthday, Tyler.
Yep. Here's a a post from his wife on that, and they're cute, having a good time out in Spain.
Yep.
Zach Salius, Sunday was that strange national sibling day that someone made up at some point in time, and now it's a thing.
I feel like it happens several times a year.
Times a year.
Yeah.
So Zach hopped on that bandwagon, and he posted just a cute picture with his also very tall siblings. He's taller, but not by much than most of his siblings. Yeah.
Isn't his sister the women's basketball coach at Lone Peak?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so Montes, he declared for the draft.
Peace out.
Yeah, so
we will not miss you.
Awesome player. I think BYU fans rejoice. It'd been kind of fun to watch him and Mika go together, but great talent. He'll be a first-round pick. That Gonzaga does have Karnowski coming back, so and they have a lot of good people coming. So Gonzaga will definitely still be the favorite next year.
Gonzaga will be Gonzaga.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyle and Collinsworth was invited to play at the Portsmouth Invitational this week. Starts on Wednesday. So it's the best 64 college players get to go
seniors.
Play. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah,
congrats
and
to Kyle.
he'll be playing in front of reps from every NBA team, so this is a really great opportunity from him. I think we were talking before the show about how Brandon Davies was invited and got enough attention. He didn't get drafted, but to get a shot in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully this is a chance for Kyle to shine and get that shot.
Yeah.
Nate Austin posted on his Instagram, and this is crazy because Nate is probably the tallest man in the room 95% of the time, but here he is with Sean Bradley, and
it was probably 100% of the time
yes.
always the tallest man in the room.
Yep. So what's his caption say?
It says, "We promise you the weather is better up
Well, I'll have to take their word for it. So
Yeah. For sure. And then we had a tweet from Robby this
Oh,
week.
you can read your tweet, Robby.
Yeah, we'll let
I'll
you
read
know.
my tweet, guys. You're going to hear my tweets in my own voice. So I won't read a tweet because that's kind of weird if I read it. But pretty much, so BYU, they're playing a 4-team event in Vegas in the NBA Grand over Thanksgiving weekend. And just help beef up that non-conference schedule. Alabama's going to be there. Minnesota's going to be there. Then Valparaiso. So potentially some revenge for BYU. Yeah. There, so BYU's non-conference schedule is shaping up really well. These teams, you have teams like Illinois, USC, Colorado. So I'm excited. BYU's gonna be testable in the non-conference.
Okay, so that's all we've got this week. And Tamara at Miss, and I can't say her handle, but we'll put it up on Twitter, got on us last week because in the What's Next part, we said nothing is up next. That's not true. There are a lot of sports in season, which we cover mostly football and basketball. But as a courtesy, we wanted to mention some of the big things that are coming up this week. Not all of the big things. We're not being all-encompassing here. This is for you, Tamara. The baseball team plays today at 6 p.m. It's going to be a really nice day, and they are playing Utah.
And volleyball is in the MPSF quarterfinals this weekend versus number 8 UC Irvine.
Yeah, and they're number 1 in the country and number 1 in the conference or whatever it is for volleyball. See, we don't even know.
Federation.
The Federation. So they're very good. So go watch them on Saturday
April 16th, 7 p.m. or it's on BYU TV.
Yep,
they're really cool to watch.
Baseball
Obviously,
and
I have
volleyball.
I'm representing. So.
Yes, Tamara, look.
I know.
Anyway, and finally, we wanted to mention rugby. We have a soft spot in our heart for rugby, and they're
Mary
also
has a special soft spot in her heart.
Yes, my husband played. But we are in the quarterfinals. We beat Arizona State 113-8 to advance. So it's the playoffs, and we're beating people 113-8. So we're playing really Dartmouth in the quarterfinals on Saturday at 1:30. Obviously, that is not in Provo. But if you follow at BYU Rugby, they will be tweeting out updates, and we will put a link to that Varsity Cup schedule in the comments below.
Sponsors this week, who do we have, Mary?
Yes, this week's show was brought to you by Shea Shack. We love us some Shea Shack. Shout out to those two for being super fast.
And also to the Heber J. Grant Testing Center. Horrible memories of that place. But good luck to all you athletes this week. Please pass your classes.
May you always stay loyal to the white and blue. For Jess, I'm Mary. We'll see you next week.